Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the welcoming note for the CEO of the iCapital Institute, Africa Institute, Dr. Gemechu Waktola.
Thank you very much. Josie impresses me all the time, the way he handles, stages. So, Nkwandana Matachu. Yeah. You look beautiful out there. So, good morning, Your Excellency, Ato Salamon Desta, Vice Governor for Financial Institutions, Supervision, National Bank of Ethiopia, Your Excellency Dr. Buluk Taye, the Director General, Ethiopian Capital Markets Authority, CMA, Your Excellency Wazaro Hikmet Abdullah, Director General, Accounting and Auditing Board of Ethiopia, distinguished guests, esteemed participants, and of course, all protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure and honor that I welcome you all to the 6th East Africa Finance Summit taking place in the vibrant city of Addis Ababa on June 15th and 16th, 2023. As you all know, in this today's interconnected world, we find ourselves confronted with multitude of challenges that require our collective attention and concerted efforts. The global financial landscape has been shaped by unprecedented events such as COVID-19 pandemic, the ongoing conflict around the world, supply chain disruption, large-scale economic sanctions, restrictions, subsequent compliance requirements, and so on. These have already disrupted economies and societies around the world. The repercussions of these crises continue to be felt, highlighting the need for innovative and adaptive solutions to promote sustainable alternatives for Africa's financial system and economic growth. Since our first summit, as most of you might remember, in 2016, the East Africa Finance Summit has served as a pivotal platform for fostering dialogue, exchanging ideas, and forging partnership meant to drive economic progress and development across the region. In the past, each summit has brought together the brightest minds, industry experts, policymakers, and visionaries, creating an environment of collaboration that has ignited transformative change. Over the years, we covered a wide array of topics ranging from access and inclusion, innovation, digital finance, fintech and insurtech advancements, talent and leadership, regulatory frameworks, opening up of the sector for more competition, and much more. We believe these conversations were useful in driving and shaping some of the developments that took place in the sector. During this period, due to reform efforts and COVID-19 pandemic, we have experienced tremendous change in the region's financial sector. In Ethiopia alone, the sector has witnessed significant developments such as the introduction of capital market, recognition of fintech and mobile money operators, launch of digital ID program, e-transaction proclamation, decisions to open the banking sector, expansion of digital payment systems, emergence of new micro-lending platforms, entrance of new insurances, banks, and mobile money operators, including conventional and specialized ones like interest-free banks and mortgage banks into the market. These are major developments that we witnessed. In general, the sector has experienced incredible developments within such a short period of time. Those are the kinds of change that perhaps took about a decade in many other economies and countries. That is why we are convinced as organizers that the finance sector needs more platforms such as this one to keep the conversation going around those developments and future potential that are yet to come. Throughout the next 2 days, we will dive into selected key issues for the sector. Some of the topics are brought forward from previous conversations because they still need further deliberation. Topics such as global dynamism and the emerging world order, as you all notice, challenges their implications, alternatives for our region, East Africa's finance sector. We believe that it is about time to discuss implications of emerging global dynamism with the potential to significantly shape the future of our finance sector. Given the current global context, regional financial integration, the possibility of East African countries to reduce dependence on major global currencies, searching for regional alternatives to existing global financial systems such as SWIFT and correspondent banking relationships, and implications of economic sanctions and compliance requirements for the finance sector and related topics cannot be ignored due to their short and long-term consequences on the region's financial sector. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to draw your attention to what President William Ruto of Kenya recently said on one of his public appearances. He posed a question and he said, why do we need dollar for transactions between Kenya and Djibouti? That was a striking question that I noticed recently. So where should these questions be addressed and seek answer for? If not, platforms like this have the conversation, talk about it, and find what to do about it. And these are the kinds of platforms we're trying to build in the years to come. To address these and other issues throughout, we all know that institutions, our institution and sectors in East Africa in particular, and Africa at large, are becoming victims of the global rivalries for which we had no or the least contribution. While there are many regional and local issues we need to address to drive our respective economic growth, our financial and economic institutions have already become captives of certain global systems on which we need extensive conversation. To address this and other issues throughout the summit, we have the privilege of engaging distinguished practitioners, experts, policymakers, leaders, and visionaries who have dedicated their lives to shaping the region's financial landscape. Their insights, experiences, and ideas will guide our discussions and inspire to explore new frontiers for our continent and specifically the region. Ladies and gentlemen, as organizers, we hope that now and in the future, this summit will serve as a platform for highlighting the achievements and milestones that East Africa has attained, as well as enormous opportunities and challenges ahead of it. Moreover, please allow me to extend my heartfelt gratitude to members of the organizing committee, organizers, the iCapital Africa Institute, ACCA, Association of Ethiopian Insurers, and Accelerate Global, as well as our strategic partners, Ethiopian Capital Markets Authority, Ethiopian National ID Program, and FSD Ethiopia, as well as our respected sponsors, Awash Bank, Raxio Data Center, Itswitch, and EthioRe. and all those who have contributed their time, expertise to make this event possible. Your support and dedication have been instrumental in bringing together a remarkable gathering of these minds. And we are truly grateful for your unwavering commitment to advancement of the East African financial landscape. In addition, please allow me to welcome our guests and delegates who have joined us both in person as well as virtually from countries in the region and beyond. Particularly, I would like to recognize the presence of speakers and panelists who are in this room as well as virtually. And Alan Lutebe from Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda, Aloze Maro from National Macro Bank of Tanzania, Chiza Charles from the African Union Commission, Geoffrey Odundo from Nairobi Securities Exchange of Kenya, Henry Lesika from National Bank of Commerce, Tanzania, Jackson Nitiga from Nairobi Securities Exchange of Kenya, James Barwanga from Raxio Data Center, Uganda, Patricia Adongo Aunyole from Uganda Development Bank, Paul Kavavu from Safaricom, Kenya, Richard Ketley from Genesis Analytics of South Africa, Rose Lumumba from IFC, Kenya, Professor Stephen Jobs from Bangor University, UK. I would like to say thank you for your willingness to contribute, as well as our continuous supporters, local panelists and speakers. I would also like to say thank you for you all, ladies and gentlemen. In closing, I encourage every one of you to actively participate, engage in thoughtful discussions, and seize the opportunities that this summit presents. Together, let's forge new partnerships, ignite innovation, and shape the future where the financial sector in East Africa continues thriving, enabling sustainable growth and prosperity for all of us. Once again, I welcome you all to the 6th East Africa Finance Summit in Addis Ababa. May our deliberations be fruitful, our collaborations be lasting, and our collective efforts pave the way for the brighter tomorrow. I thank you all. Welcome.